Hi guys, welcome to a NESologist Top 10. This is my very first Top 10 list. And before we get into anything else, I want to wish every single one of you a happy Thanksgiving. And on that note, I thought of nothing more significant than to start with the 10 things I'm most thankful for in gaming. Now that could be a console, that could be a game, that could be an accessory of some kind, really anything related to gaming in any way. The things that I specifically am most thankful for since the day I was born in 1986 until today's date. I'm going to start with number 10. Internal memory on gaming consoles. Thank the Lord in heaven for internal memory. Before that, it was either game systems that you just didn't save, like with the NES, unless there was a special cartridge, or you had to buy memory cards, like the PlayStation 1 and PlayStation 2, GameCube, all those systems, and Nintendo 64. You had to buy memory cards for them. And some games took up huge chunks of your memory. So you had to buy multiple cards, organize them. It was such a pain. Thank goodness, starting with the original Xbox, I believe was the first system that had internal memory. Although not necessarily a lot, it was nice to be able to save your game without having to worry about your memory card. Other systems that came out in the future, the Wii, the Wii U, the PlayStation 3, Xbox 360, all had internal memory, and thank goodness for that. That is one of the things I'm most thankful for in gaming. Number 9, the Nintendo Switch. I'm going to be completely honest. The only reason that this isn't higher up on this list is because I don't own a Nintendo Switch yet. I have heard, however, that one might possibly be coming to my house at Christmas time. But we'll see, that's yet to be determined. But I'm really excited for Nintendo in this system. Finally, Nintendo has come out with a gaming console that looks to be a smashing success. Let's be honest, the Wii and the Wii U were a little bit of a disappointment. Not a little, a lot of a disappointment, at least for me. But the Nintendo Switch is a whole nother story. I mean, it's going to be basically a combination between a portable and a full-blown HD console on the go. And there are so many third-party companies that are bringing games to the Switch, such as Doom 2016 and Skyrim. I mean, that's awesome. Where's it going to go in the future? That really excites me. We'll see what Nintendo has up their sleeves. But it's nice to see some competition coming back to the gaming world to compete with PlayStation and Microsoft. It's going to be pretty exciting times. Number 8, Steam. PC gaming has come a long way. I mean, it used to be when I was a kid, you basically had to be a computer programmer to get a game up and running. First, it was on a floppy disk. You put it in, you had to open DOS, and you had to type in some assortment of letters, slashes, letters, numbers, whatever, to be able to get the game to even work. I didn't even understand it. I usually just kind of memorized whatever it was, had no idea what it meant, but it would finally get the game going. But now Steam has come along, and it's been out now for quite some time, but I'll tell you, it has made PC gaming so easy and has opened up my world to a vast variety of gaming, whether it be first-party, developers or indie games that I would have otherwise probably never heard of if it wasn't for the Steam Marketplace and being able to go in there and look through games and download them and play them, demos, huge sales and discounts that they have on games. I mean, it's really opened up my world to PC gaming pretty vastly, and for that, I'm very thankful. Number 7. The PlayStation 1. It was Christmas, 1996. I was 10 years old. There was a box, neatly wrapped underneath my Christmas tree. Inside of it was a little thing called the Sony PlayStation. I was so excited that day, and to this day it's one of my favorite Christmases, because the PlayStation opened my world to a whole nother side of gaming that I didn't even know existed, and I am so thankful that I got to be a part of. Now, I moved up from my NES straight to the PlayStation. I never owned a Super Nintendo when I was a kid. I moved straight into the PlayStation. Now, I'll be honest, when I first got it, I didn't really know anything about it. I mean, I knew some people were getting the Nintendo 64, and that's what I heard more about. But I'll tell you, I am so happy that I had the PlayStation. There were so many titles that I'm so happy I got to play. Games like Gran Turismo, I was huge into that when I was a kid. Twisted Metal, I loved those games. Jet Moto, that was an awesome little game that also had a sequel. And those games to me were so much fun. And I'm so happy that I had the PlayStation and got to see, different consoles and what different games that they had. And so that was a huge impact on my life, and that I'm happy that I got to be a part of. Number 6, the PlayStation 4 controller. Now, I know I just said how much I loved the PlayStation, but there's one thing I've never been a huge fan of, and that was the PlayStation's controller. It is beyond me why they decided to stick with that controller for 3 generations of consoles. Finally, the PlayStation 4 comes along, and I'll tell you, that controller is one of my favorites ever designed. I mean, I love some other controllers, like the GameCube controller, and I loved the Xbox 360 controller when they changed that from that big chunky monstrosity that was the original Xbox controller. But the PlayStation 4 controller is such a humongous improvement, which is why I'm so thankful for it, because I've always been a PlayStation fan. And this controller just was the icing on the cake for me when it came to the PlayStation 4. Number 5, the Angry Video Game Nerd. It was almost 10 years ago to this day that I started watching the Angry Video Game Nerd videos. And that inspired so much for me. I was always a big fan of the NES and other classic games, and I had started moving on to some of the newer generation of video games in my life. But then I came across the Angry Video Game Nerd, and it gave me this desire to start collecting some of my old games back again that I had gotten rid of, which I really regret. And because of him, I started collecting again, and now I have a humongous collection that I'm really proud of and still expanding on to this day. And it's really all thanks to him. And I really always will enjoy watching his videos, and I hope they continue to go on forever. They're always so much fun to watch, and it's been such a big inspiration to me and me doing videos myself, and also into collecting video games and getting some of my old systems back and playing some old classics that I had never heard of before. And it's all thanks to the Angry Video Game Nerd. Number 4, headphones. There are 3 main things in a good video game that are the most important to me. The first, of course, is good solid gameplay. A game has to have some good mechanics, a good story, and all of those kind of ingredients to go along with it. The other, of course, is the game needs to look pretty. Good graphics, some kind of unique design to it. That's always nice. The third is probably one of the most underrated parts of a video game, and that's good sound. And nothing brings out the sound better than a good quality set of headphones. And I'm so thankful for that. I have a good pair of headphones that I use, and it just kicks a good game up a notch. First off, it enhances the sound. Everything sounds really pretty. And second off, you don't have to worry about disturbing people around you. You can play a game, crank it up as loud as you want, and nobody's going to be bothered by it. So you can enjoy a game no matter where you're at. And that just really, to me, enhances a game to a point that just makes it that much more enjoyable. Number 3. Pokemon Red and Blue, the original. My brother, one day, I don't know if it was for his birthday or for Christmas, but somewhere along the line he got the blue version of Pokemon for Game Boy. And for a while, me and him actually shared it and played it together, which was not always easy. But we both really enjoyed playing that. And eventually, he gave me his blue version, and he picked up the red version, and we played those games all the time. And this was before internet, and there were always rumors of glitches or secret ways of getting different Pokemon or getting to places that some of them didn't even really exist. But it was always so much lore and stuff behind it that was unique and fun at the time. And not only that, but it was such a cool concept at the time that to this point has gotten a little repetitive. But the idea of collecting 150 Pokemon at the time, that was so huge, especially for what that little Game Boy could do. And that just made that game so very special, and it was a good bonding tool for me and my little brother that I will always appreciate to this day. Number 2, Halo for the Xbox. Back when everybody else was talking about the PlayStation 2, and I still had my PlayStation 1, I was kind of steered away from the PlayStation 2 when I heard about the Xbox, because I never liked doing the same thing as what everybody else was doing. I liked to be different. And when I heard about the Xbox coming out and saw a game that was released along with the console called Halo, I was pretty excited. I wanted to be part of that. So after I had gotten my Xbox for Christmas in 2000, that game Halo blew my mind. I enjoyed that game so much, and it brought me and my friends so close together. We'd all hang out, we'd have Halo parties, we would just play the co-op, we'd play multiplayer, mess around, talk trash all night long. It was so much fun. That game brought me and my group of friends so close together, and I really, really will always appreciate that and be thankful for that game. Now, after that, to me, I kind of got disappointed with all the sequels that came out beyond the first Halo, but that first game in that series will always have a special place in my heart, and I enjoyed that game so very much and appreciate the memories that it brought me. Number 1, the Nintendo Entertainment System. I absolutely have to make this number 1 on my list of things that I'm most thankful for in gaming, because it was the start of my gaming career. The NES, I first started playing in 1989, playing Blades of Steel, Super Mario Brothers, Duck Hunt, good old golf and all its wonderful sound effects. You know, there's so many good games. I can go on and on and on. I mean, obviously, there's over 900 titles on the NES, but it was the start of my gaming career, and I don't know where I'd be without it. I don't know what I would have gotten into, what hobbies I would have. I mean, I'm sure I'd still have figured out video games eventually, but, you know, it was such a special console to me, and all the games on it that I played as a kid honestly have made me the person that I am, and so I'm just so happy that I got to start with that. And, you know, it's all because of my dad and me playing when I was a little kid. You know, it started off when he'd be playing Super Mario Brothers, and he'd give me the second controller that wasn't really plugged in, so I thought I was playing, but really I wasn't. It was just him who, you know, wasn't very good, but, you know, that's beside the point. Anyway, but yeah, I'm just, you know, so happy that I got to start out on the NES, and that system is so special to me, and that's why I'm the NESologist, because that was the start of it all for me. And so that is what I am absolutely the most thankful for in gaming. So, thank you guys for watching this very first NESologist Top 10 list. I want to wish each and every one of you again a very happy Thanksgiving. I appreciate every one of you for watching. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, please hit the subscribe button. I plan on doing so much more in the future. Let's plays of NES games, more top 10 lists, you know, and so much other content that I'm still trying to build on. This is a new channel, but I want to go so far with it. So please hit that subscribe button. Thank you guys so much for watching, and tune in again soon for another video from the NESologist. Thank you guys, and have a happy holiday.